Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. We went for a walk after lunch, and we ended up receiving our Dollfie Dream body the moment we got back. I'm so glad that the person packed it in a really small shipping box that fit in the package mailbox, because like, if the box is too big, they don't put it in the package mailbox with all the other mailboxes, so it's not safe. They put it out in the front of your door, it can get stolen. So she was small enough so it fit in the regular package box. We assembled her immediately. It took a while to assemble her. It's so nice to have the doll complete. We didn't really get to do much with her. Right now all she's doing is just sitting on Monica's side of the room. And we haven't even did her braid, because like all the head that we have, it's been braided for the last like 4 years now. Only once did I undo it, and then we just rebraided it again. I can't remember when that was. I think it was like in 2014, I think. I don't know. I got bored and I just wanted to comb through it. But man, even though it's a rooted head, it loses hair so quickly. I ended up working on the pages. I actually worked on a little bit of chapter 7. I didn't get very far in it, and then I worked on the pages until like 2 or 3-ish. And then I started getting a headache, so I got off. The headache is the kind that like, I can feel it behind my eye. I went to sleep. I woke up at like 12, I think. And I got up at 12:40 or 12:50, and I started working on the pages 7, 8, and 9. So I got them done on time. Again, I skipped a step. I didn't bother refining them, and it made it a little bit difficult to complete them fast enough because I wasn't 100% certain of what the lines I was looking at. So I ended up completing them at 4. I got them partially assembled before I had to go. I only finished 1, and then I had to assemble the last 2 before I left. And then I went for a run and I came back. We ate breakfast and we watched the first 2 episodes of Touken Ranbu Hanamaru again. We wanted to watch it again basically because of 2 reasons. 1, the second season's going to be in January, and 2, we needed something else to watch. And we ran out of things to watch, and we're considering watching Food Wars next, so we wanted to see if we felt differently about Hanamaru having had watched Katsugeki. Oh my god, the first episode is like the info dump from hell. I don't know if they're trying to be meta or anything. All I know is that I almost forgot it was like this, like the first time we watched it. It was just the characters constantly stopping to info dump stuff about themselves, and it's just so annoying. I feel like certain characters I didn't like the first time I watched it, I feel like I hate them even more. Like the 2 characters I really don't like, especially because of Hanamaru, is Hasebe and Kashu. I really don't like them. I feel like Kashu just comes off as so arrogant. I don't care about him. I really hope that the characters that I do like, especially having had learned about them from the game, are portrayed well in the second season. Because like I said, I had liked Honebami before Hanamaru and before Katsugeki. I hated him in Hanamaru because he was so soulless, and then I hated him in Katsugeki. Like, he was just so soulless. I hated him so much. Oh my god. I'm hoping that from the 3 characters I like the most, which is Kogarasu-maru, Taiko Gane, and Tomoe, that none of the 3 of them make me hate them so much. I'm hoping that I love them so much I'll be blind to their flaws, but I'm willing to accept it if they do something to make me hate them. I mean, the one I would not be able to forgive is Tomoe, because like, he's a Naginata, and I've loved the Naginata since I was in high school, and like, I would just, oh my god, I would be so mad. I would be so mad they did something to make me hate him so much. A handful of people have said that he's actually kind of arrogant. I don't know. I haven't dug that deep into the game to find out, but he has no real identity, so I feel like he has to stand by himself. You know what I mean? He has to have some self-realization despite not having a name. So I feel like I'm just so worried about him. I don't know about Kogarasu-maru though, because like, I love him too, but I don't know if I'd be willing to slide if they did something to make me hate him. And then Taiko Gane, I don't know, Taiko Gane seems like he'd be a little butthead, so I'm kind of expecting him to upset me too. Okay, so that pretty much leads me to now. I finished the pages, I passed them off to Monica. When I go back on, I need to do 2 things. 1, I need to edit the audio for this week. The first 3 audio files, and then I need to finish the last 3 pages I didn't get to complete. I got 2 pages close to completion, and I didn't get them done. And then I have 1 page that needs to be completely colored. So I don't know if I want to finish those 2 pages first and then work on the one that I didn't get to work on yet. I'm not sure. Or if I should work on that one, then finish the other two. I don't know. I'll figure out when I get on. Other than that, I need to take a bath because today's my bath day. Is there anything else that's been on my mind besides that? Tomorrow, Marianne comes over, and then the day after is Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'll be able to make any distance in Chapter 7 today. I definitely think I'll probably have to do it tomorrow or the day after. I'm kind of just seeing myself working on Thanksgiving though. I'm also pushing to finish chapter 46 and 47's extras this weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to. I really want them done because I'm chapter 38 just came out today on the mirrors, and that means that I am getting into the 40s, which means that I'm in volume 5. So I have to complete volume 5. The only thing standing in between me and what I have finished is 46 and 47. That's it. And once I get those done, I will have from 46 to 51 to Q. And once I get that done, then I have to focus on finishing the series. So I don't know how many chapters I have in between 51 to 60. So I gotta look into that. Is there anything else? I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. I took a shower and then I crashed. I woke up at 9:30. I worked on the audio and then I finished whatever I could for the pages. So I only got as far as the artwork. I did not get the text on it yet. We ended up stopping and eating and watching more of Hanamaru. I think we got up to like the middle of episode 4, which is where Kanesada shows up. Oh my god. Okay, I just want to say this, especially now because we're a little bit farther than we were yesterday on it, but I just want to say now that Hanamaru is leaving me feeling like when you're watching Katsugeki, you can't help but feel like Hanamaru is better, but when you're watching Hanamaru, you can't help but feel like Katsugeki's better. Because, like, Hanamaru has like, just lousy storytelling, but Katsugeki has, like, an organized storytelling. And not to mention, they only use a small handful of swords that some people care about, but not all people care about. A lot of people who didn't care for the sword selection really didn't like Katsugeki. Whereas Hanamaru fan serviced the entire cast. So I feel like that's where Hanamaru delivered a bit better. Other than that, oh my, these swords are so stupid. And their constant info dumping is just frustrating, especially because their info dumps don't really feel, native to the plot at hand. I just feel like they like to info dump for fun. It's annoying. We went for a walk afterward, and then I found another penny. I found a 9th penny. So I'm almost at 10 cents, or I was almost at 10 cents yesterday. I kept looking for the 10th one, but I didn't find anything. And then Monica completed the pages at she completed coloring the Tuesday pages at 2, but by then we were both wasted. We got off at 2, around about 2-ish, or almost to 3, and then before we went to bed, we ended up making a sock pattern for Rio, because we bought her some socks that we wanted to make socks for her. I tried to make her a panty pattern, but I misjudged it, and this is the same thing that happened to me last time I made her panties, that I misjudged the distance between her front and her back, and I came up with some really tiny panties. So I have to do it again. It's kind of funny. I woke up at 1 o'clock exactly. I ended up working on the pages 10, 11, and 12. And I finished the line art before I had to go running. Some of the pages I did work on a little bit on the day before. I completely forgot to mention that. So I ended up getting to them a little bit faster, but I still barely got them done in time, and I didn't get to assemble them before I ran. Technically I keep saying I ran, but I didn't. I walked and I brainstormed. I should just power walk, and I can't really run and brainstorm at the same time. I have to be walking and talking to the recorder. So found something I wanted to change in chapter 6. I have to go back and add that. And then I found some things I found a direction I want to take chapter 7 in. I'm mad because this is the middle of the week and chapter 7 is barely started, and that makes me upset that I didn't get farther yesterday. Was it yesterday? And the day before. Sorry, the day before. When I got back, I finished assembling the pages. We got caught up with the internet, and we also watched 2 more episodes of Hanamaru. We finished watching episode 4. This is the episode where they buy a bunch of stupid shit because they're so stupid. Oh god. And episode 5 where Mikazuki shows up. So the way that the series moves so like slowly is kind of frustrating. And it's not even atmospheric. I feel like that's where Katsugeki had it going for it. Rewatching Hanamaru makes me want to rewatch Katsugeki to see if the earlier episodes informed the later episodes. I don't know because I didn't feel like it was that way. I've been thinking about the series in retrospect since we reached the ending. I'm like, okay, how does the beginning inform the ending? I'm not really sure. I feel like it really wasn't clear what the desire was, and because it wasn't sure, they were never really clear about the desire from the get-go. It kind of felt like, well, what are these characters aiming for? They're just doing whatever their master tells them, and they're a little unsure of themselves, and that feels kind of that just feels kind of now having them aiming towards something that works. I mean, I feel like it wasn't until Horikawa decided to save Hijikata that suddenly he had a direction, and it didn't make sense of his direction informed where he started at all. It just I don't know. I still feel that way, but it's like, what can you do with them? They're personified swords. What can they do? But we stopped at like 7, and then I passed the pages off to her. And then now I'm at this point where I'm trying to decide what I need to get back on. It's a toss up between like 8:30 and 9 as usual. I usually try to let the computer rest for 2 hours because I usually am on from like 1 a.m. till like 7 a.m. and it usually only gets like 1 hour's rest between 5 and 6. So that's not a very long time, which is why I try to let it rest longer. If I had 2 computers, this wouldn't be an issue. I just don't want to push that computer so hard. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Okay, so Marianne's coming today. We have to think of things to talk to her about. I don't know what Monica wants to talk to her about. I can't remember what time she's showing up. I think she always shows up at like 1 or 1:30ish. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. There's also a Thanksgiving party going on in the facility here. And I don't really feel like going because like last year we tried to do Thanksgiving with the community and there was just way too many people. It was a lot of people. The most that Monica and I ended up doing was drawing pictures, and that's it. We didn't actually get to eat with everyone. And like I knew I had to leave when this mother was like, "Can you draw my daughter?" I'm like, "No, that never ends well." Oh my god. I think that's virtually it. I guess I'm gonna call it quits here. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. I finished all of the Monday pages. I only got like through the first 2 of the Tuesday pages. Okay, so Marianne came over, and while she was here, I worked on the storyboard for chapter 6. I fixed some things like a few minutes before she showed up. I managed to print out some changes. And while I was working on the storyboard, I ended up discovering that I didn't need like this conversation towards the latter half of it. So I'm going to stick that conversation in the extras after the chapter. So I wrote that down on my extras sheets, because I have these sheets that are for specifically brainstorming all the extras. So I moved that there. I cut that out and I put the actual ending conclusion before it. And I left out one line. I think the line was about a great way to start the new year. I cut that line out completely because I didn't feel like it fit. Other than that, I managed to get the whole thing in. It almost took up all 12 pages, and it wasn't good that it would, because like the first page wasn't storyboarded right because I was using a backup booklet. Because like the storyboard booklet I used for chapter 6, I had to trash it because I already marked it all up for the first version of the storyboard I didn't like. So I had this backup one that had lines already printed on it, and each line was like 4 rows that I didn't really need. So, I mean, I didn't need them for the first page, so I had to like use it as a first page anyway. And I'm like, okay, I can't fill up every single page like this, so I ended up Xing out the last page and trying to adjust all the panels to that size. So it more or less worked. When I made the first page, I think I made the first page like 3 panels long. I don't really remember, but yeah. So that worked out. What else happened after that? Marianne talked to Monica, and she asked her how she would feel about graduating from this program that she's in with her. of her having to constantly keep seeing her, and that she would put her on a different program where all she'll need is a nurse that comes and checks on her once a month. That actually would be kind of nice, because like for the whole year that we kept seeing Marianne, we would have to like fall behind on Thursdays because we'd have to spend all day out in Fullerton. And it makes me kind of sad because I enjoyed going to Fullerton for a reason. It's so weird going to Fullerton for no reason, because like that's where all the interesting stores are. The Toys R Us is out there, Michael's is out there, the closest Target to us was out there. So yeah, I mean there's a Target on Euclid, but it's just the one on Harbor is just closer technically. Actually, it's probably logistically, it's probably not any farther away or closer. Oh, whatever. But yeah, we preferred it out there. As opposed to other places. So yeah, I don't know about that. I always kept using the appointments as an excuse to do as much work as possible, but now I have to designate a certain time of the day for me to actually do the work that I would typically do at, say, like Fullerton or something. I don't know. It just depends. I don't know if Monica's ever planning on doing the DOR again, because if she did, then I can use the DOR appointments instead. But those appointments were always Tuesdays, and that's really bad for me. Is it Tuesdays or Mondays? I think Mondays or Tuesdays. Oh, whatever. Okay, so I don't remember what time we went to bed. I completely forgot. I think Monica actually finished filling in the Wednesday pages at like 2 or 3-ish. I can't remember. And then I took a break, but I ended up going back on, and I only got as far as, like I said, getting 2 pages done. Oh, whatever. So, what was the last thing I said? This morning I woke up at 3. I ended up completing the artwork for all the pages over the time. I think I actually stopped before page like 10, I think it was. I did some pages backwards because like page 12 had like the least panels, so I started with it. Other than that, I got all of the final 6 pages completed. We stopped and we ate breakfast and watched In This Corner of the World, which is a movie that came out, I believe, last year. And it's about a woman during World War II. Technically, she's a very young woman. She turns 18. She gets married like immediately. And like, oh my god. Basically, the whole story is about finding something to be happy about, or managing to maintain a sense of happiness despite being destroyed by this war. Oh my god. Like how the war destroys her in-laws. It's just like, oh my god. I mean, it even just goes and destroys her at one point, which I just blew my mind, because like spoiler alert, she ends up losing her dominant hand, and she's an artist, and it was so emotionally destroying for me to that part of the movie where she loses her hand, and I couldn't bear it. I honestly could not bear it. She spends most of the movie with her arm in a sling in the latter half of it after she loses her hand. And like, I feel like between losing her hand and then losing her niece, that's like, oh man, because technically she lost her hand with her niece at the same time because she was holding her hand. And it's just, oh my god, it's just, ugh. But in the end, because she had no arm, by the end of the movie, this child whose mother had lost her arm and died like that, this child accidentally assumes that she is her mother and goes to, I think it was a girl, I don't remember if it was a girl or a boy, but this child ends up sticking with her and her husband because she thinks it's her mother, and I feel so bad. Oh my god. Well, by the end of the movie, it gives you some hope, because in the end, the war more or less is over. Japan surrenders to the Americans, and they end up getting along, even though that just the fact that Japan even surrendered was emotionally destroying for her and her sister-in-law, because her sister-in-law lost her daughter, and she herself lost her mother in the bombing. She lost her brother. Her brother went MIA. They didn't find his body, so they just sent a rocket in place of his ashes. That was just terrible. And like, eventually she loses her father because of her mother's death, and it's just, she loses like her whole family except for her little sister, which oh man, her little sister was like such a breath of fresh air throughout that entire movie, because she was just going through so much stress. And like, her sister coming in, popping into the movie every once in a while was just like, oh my god. Oh my, I'm surprised her sister was able to survive. But in the end, she seemed like she was sick with something. They showed that she had some type of like I don't know, some type of markings on her arm. So I assume that she was sick with some type of disease or something like that. Because she looked like she was fine, but she was still in bed. I don't know. But yeah, the fact that she and her sister could still carry on with their lives, even though that they were destroyed by this war. Oh man, I can't even. I'm trying to even right now. But yeah, out of everything that happened, the two things I liked the most was, as an artist, I appreciated how everything she looked at, just looking at everything, she could see a illustrated version of that, which I thought was really cool. And she's such a quick artist. She can just draw really quickly. It's crazy. I feel bad that she lost her sketchbook. She lost her sketchbook while she was trying to draw pictures of her home, because she knew she was never going to see it again because she was married and living somewhere else, and she couldn't fit back into her family after she got married. And it was just like, oh my god. And then they ended up, like I said, they ended up confiscating her sketchbook. The military confiscated her sketchbook because I thought she was a spy trying to, draw pictures of the location for the enemy or something. But the thing is that she ended up saying that she was trying to draw the boats for her nephew, who we never see throughout this entire movie whatsoever. It makes me feel so bad that her niece died before she could actually go back to see her brother. That was so sad. Oh my! She and her sister-in-law and her niece were all gonna go back to visit her sister-in-law's family because she wanted to get her away from the war, but they ended up getting really badly bombed, and that was about the point in which she ended up dying. Not right away though. It was because of something. I don't want to get into many details with it, but like, yeah, that was just that made me feel so bad. But yeah, last thing. Okay, the other part I really, really liked, aside from the her looking at everything with an artistic eye, even right down to some of the bombing, looking at the bombing in an artistic eye, that was like, wow. It was an air raid, actually, technically, that she was watching. But yeah, the other thing was when she found resourceful ways of making food making meals with very little food. That was like amazing. Oh my god. Like, one of the things that she did was she overswole some rice. She made that rice so swole that it filled her family. That was just amazing. Oh my god. I'm surprised that her father-in-law survived the storyline, because there was so much going on. There was this moment where he fell asleep during one of the air raids as she thought he died. That reminded me of this time that my dad fell out of the rocking chair when because we used to have a rocking chair in my house. My dad fell out of the rocking chair and I thought he died, but he just fell out of the chair. Oh god, that was like back in 2013, I think. Oh my god. It was such a good movie. You guess you could say it could feel slow, but knowing that it's about World War II, you can't help but feel that you need that every single good, happy moment that was going on in the story needed to be slow and remembered, because it was all gonna go, shit was gonna hit the fan. It was just it was such a good movie. I can't even. Oh man. So let's see, is there anything else I could say about it? I feel like it was good watching this for Thanksgiving, because it does give me a lot of things to be thankful for. Even, and Monica and I were just saying that, technically this is our second Thanksgiving away from mom and dad, but dad was still alive last year during this time, and even though that we were celebrating Thanksgiving, we could still call them and find out what they were doing. And of course they weren't happy because mom was making his life a living hell, because that's just what she's good at. But like, this is our real first Thanksgiving all by ourselves, being away from everyone, since mom and Christina are in Texas. We were just saying it was just so nice to have this kind of like peaceful time together, because like up until we moved here, everything was chaotic, and I feel like a lot of the things that I did really reflected the kind of culture that my mother created in our family, which was just hell. Yeah, we were saying that it's so nice to be peaceful and quiet here, and like everything's so. I think the worst thing that probably happened today was that one of our decorations, because we have these two heavy Christmas stars on the wall being supported by tape, and like they keep falling off the wall because the tape loses its adhesive, and then the gravity takes it down. So I have to put this star back up, and I haven't been feeling like it, because I've just been feeling So yeah, I feel like this is probably one of the first Thanksgivings that I actually have genuinely enjoyed. Kind of wish I could tell my younger self it gets better. But yeah, I really want to like take this in because like, I don't know, we don't know what will happen in the future. And I don't know if things are always going to feel this nice. I hope so. I hope next year's is good too. And I was so stressed out at the beginning of 2017 because I was still trying to cope with Dad dying in December of the month before, and then worrying about whether or not worrying about the bed bug thing, and then worrying about whether or not Monica will be able to either get through the DOR or her SSI will be renewed, and finishing Ho Hum Deedum and all these different things. And like now that I'm in Live in PC sequel, I'm like not even like, I'm not as worried about things as I was before, and I like being in this state of mind. It's been a while since I felt this way. I mean, I am really pushing myself really hard. I mean, like I'm like waking up at 1 o'clock every single day. I don't need to do that, but and this is mostly because I wake up at 1. I don't have energy by 4. I literally run out of energy by 4 p.m. Yeah. So after we watched the movie, we ended up accidentally watching a video of that had Despacito in it. I've been singing Despacito like all day long since then. And we went for a walk. I found my 10th penny because like I've been collecting pennies every time I go for walks, and like last time I counted 8, and then I got one yesterday when I was doing my walk, and then I found one we were on this walk, and so we have 10 pennies now, so we have 10 cents. We hit Vaughn's for a little bit. We walked around, looked at some of their stuff. They added a few more Christmas stuff because they took out the last of their Halloween clearance, and then we looked at some of their cards, and that's pretty much it. And then we headed back home. I went back on. I finished the last page I hadn't finished yet. And then I just didn't feel like I could put the text on it yet. I was just way too tired from just working on the images that I ended up working on more images. And also we were listening to a video on YouTube. So I ended up starting coloring in the new extras for chapter 46. So I hope I can do that this weekend. Oh my god, I really need that done. Oh my god, I need it done so badly. Because like chapter 46 in the middle of January, I don't want to be working on this and all the way through December. I really need to get this thing done before January. Oh my god, I don't know if I can. Okay, so upcoming, I need to, like I said, finish the last 6 pages. According to Marianne, she's gonna come visit us again next week. I think that's a bit strange, so okay, if she wants to, that's fine. Is there anything else that's upcoming? We want to do stuff this weekend, but I also have all these things I need to do because I still have not. This is the week I was supposed to be working on chapter 7, and I have not worked on it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to either squeeze some of it in today or to do it all tomorrow. I think worst case scenario, I'll have to spend all of Saturday working on it because like by Saturday I feel like I'm spent and I don't want to do anything else art related. So we'll see. Alrighty then. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. I ended up completing everything but page 7 of chapter 6, so I had to do that this morning. I ended up waking up at like 2:30ish around about. I completed chapter 6, and then I started working on all the extras. So the images for chapter 46 are ready. The second image for chapter 47 is ready, and the artwork for Doray's magic card is done. So I did that all day long. We ended up watching episode 8, I think it was, of Touken Ranbu Hanamaru. It was the episode Holiari and the ghost episode, which was the dumbest episode ever. I feel like the only thing cute about that part was the Kosetsu and Sayo, and that's it. We ended up getting off and we went to Walmart at like 7. And oh my god, it was so crowded. It wasn't even funny. We ended up getting food as well as iron and an ironing board. The ironing board that we got was really tiny. It fit in my backpack. Well, almost didn't fit in my backpack. It slightly didn't. It was like sticking out when I was on my way home. So it's a very small ironing board. It's probably as big as Rio herself. not very big. And the iron was the cheapest one they had. It appeared like it had been returned. I'm not sure if it was. We just grabbed the first one we saw, and they had a handful. Though I kind of wish we had gone back and got a different one. But it was the cheapest one. It was almost $10, and we're not going to force it to process water, because like the high-tech irons can usually take some type of water into the machine, and that's really bad for the machine because the water damages it. So we decided to just not bother with putting water into it and to just spray water onto the actual fabric and then iron it. So we're ready to start. We came back and we ate brunchish. It was not a very big brunch, and that's when I completed the Dora's magic card art, and then we got up and went to Vaughn's to pick up some things for lunch, because like we didn't have any more lettuce, so we had to go get some of that, and we just came back from doing that. So that's where I am right now. Nobody really contacted us for Thanksgiving but Aunt Olga, and then Aunt Olga was determined to get a hold of Mom, so Monica had to get a hold of Reggie to get a hold of Mom, because only Reggie uses his phone. Everyone else either, you know, keeps people waiting or doesn't keep their phone on. So I think that's virtually it. Yetsuju and Kino are already out. We're not going to watch them right away. We're mostly focused on finishing Hanamaru first, and then catching up with all the anime that comes out over the weekend, because like it's just easier to watch it during the week rather than the moment it comes out. And a lot of everything is disappointing us. There is not one single thing that makes me feel like, oh my god, I need to see that. I mean, maybe Land of the Lustrous, but even that, it just leaves me feeling like, oh, this girl. I'm hoping that the situation she just got herself into with her arms goes as smoothly as the other thing with the two snails did. They're not snails. They're like sea slug things. Oh, whatever. We'll see how it goes. Alrighty then, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. I spent all of the latter half of the day working on the text for the chapter 46 extras. I only got as far as Dodo's side of the page. Technically, that would be number 2 of the 2 of them. I tried to start Dotees, but I just did not have any energy, and that I pretty much just ended the day like that. So this morning I woke up at 2, I got up at 3. I ended up spending all day working on the script for chapter 7. In fact, I just finished it right now, and it's almost 11. I think it's like 10:30 in the morning. I did set up 2 extras for Monica to do. I think it was the first or second extra for chapter 52, I think. And then what's the other one? The baton pass for the finale, which is going to be Ho Hum Deedum passing off to the Live NPC sequel. And that's going to be interesting. What else is there? I think she got done with that. I think she passed me back the cartridge with them on it. I don't remember. For breakfast, we ended up watching Touken Ranbu Hanamaru episode 9 and 10. And out of all of them, I feel like 10 is more of my favorite. In the first half of it felt kind of stupid. 10 is more of my favorite because of just the amount of Kokutsune Maru. It's about Kokutsune Maru's history. And even though it's pretty ham-fisted, it's the only chance I actually get to see my OTPs together. That's pretty much it. Other than that, I feel like there's so much useless. I call it useless because it does not service me at all. So much useless Surumaru and Mikatsuki fan service in there, because I don't ship that pairing. I thought I would before I ever got into Touken Ranbu, because I had seen so much art of them, but then when I actually like saw what kind of personalities they have, I kind of feel like, no, these two feel really weird together. Ugh. I never talked about my Touken Ranbu ships. I kind of don't want to talk about them, because I know that one of the ships that is prominent in that episode is a rare pair. And I'm going to leave it at that. If you've been to my live journal and you've seen my my actual default icon, you know what ship it is, because the icon is a screenshot from that episode. Like, I actually found more scenes of them together that I didn't actually think about screenshotting. I should have gone back and screenshot it when I had the chance. It's just that the animation isn't consistent, and sometimes it gets really wonky towards the end. It's so annoying. Okay, so after that, I took a shower. I got off at it was somewhere time between 6:30 and 7. I took a shower after that. We ran out of shampoo. We only have 1 bottle left, so we need to get another collection of 2-in-1. So we use 2-in-1 shampoos. It's both shampoo and conditioner at the same time. So we need to get a couple more of those. I don't know when we're gonna have a chance to do that. That maybe next month, because like I feel like we spend enough money this month. But then if we get them at the discount store, it's not going to be a lot of money. What else is there? Okay, so I got back on at like, I think it was either 8:30 or 9. Probably 9. And then I ended up completing chapter 7. I was so stuck on it, I actually took out a moment to brainstorm on my other cell phone, my old cell phone. I brainstormed on it, and the route that I wanted to take with it, I did not end up taking. So I don't know. I don't know if it's made the episode clunkier or if it made it move better. Because like I feel like because I didn't address specific things, it moved faster. But because I was focusing on other things, it moved weirdly. Maybe I just need to fix the phrasing. All I know is that I'm gonna look it over again when I do the storyboard, and if I feel like anything feels wrong, I'll try to fix it. And I feel like this works better. It makes Byron and Clotilda look a little more sympathetic than I first imagined them to be. So let's see. Other than that, I was hoping to string this episode with, or this scene with another scene, but this scene took up all 3.5 pages I am allowed to actually have the script, so I couldn't go any further. I'm hoping that maybe in the next chapter we can get through the discussion of the rare products that they sell faster, because like if I can just make that like, if I can make that like the first page, make it take up the first page of the entire script, then perhaps I can use the rest of the other 3.5 or 2.5 pages for trying to find Fasha's special skill, which was supposed to solidify whether or not he'll be a good fit for the team. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that doesn't take too long. A part of me almost just wants to write that scene first, but I feel like I have to do this in order. So yeah. Other than that, I'm afraid the story is moving a little. It's not moving at the speed that I was hoping it would. If I could just get those two things together, because like I'm trying to make sure that the female lead, the actual official female lead, gets introduced by chapter 11, and I don't think I can do that. At worst case scenario, I'll probably have the female lead introduced anywhere between like chapter like 12 to 15. That makes me upset because like I was hoping it would move a little faster. After all, for crying out loud, we have 12 pages we're working on. So yeah. Is there anything else I could possibly say about it? I think that's more or less all we can do. I can't think of anything else. So as for upcoming, we need to go get water, so we're gonna go do that. Right now we're making lunch. So that's happening. What else is there? I think that's everything that we need to do. I don't know. Since I'm done with the script, I'm gonna try to knock out all the super easy extras, since the difficult ones are the ones that I have to write a lot of stuff for. And right now I just got nothing as far as what I need to type out. I'm really exhausted with typing out stuff. So I'm just gonna try to keep it down to that. I think it was 50, the second one for 50, and then like the second one for 47 was the two that I needed to do. And if I'm lucky, I can probably squeeze in the first extra for 47, because like it is writing, but it's not a large space to write in. So I'm hoping that maybe I can pound that out. I'm not sure. Best case scenario, I can. Okay. Alrighty then. Also, the last thing I need to do besides that is print out all the drafts for chapter 6, and I have to do that. I'm tired though. Alrighty then. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. We ended up hitting Northgate, but they didn't have the water that we get, so we ended up going down the 99-cent store, and we ended up getting 4 bottles. And the process of wandering around, we ended up finding that they had a different brand of thin boxed mint chocolate that wasn't, it was a Belgian chocolate, but it wasn't the Felice brand that we were used to. Felice, I think, is a French brand. I don't really remember. I think the only Felice brand chocolate they had here was the dark chocolate, not the mint. So we got one of those to try it out. It wasn't like the Felice, but it was satisfactory. I don't know if I want to get any more of it, because like if something's really good, like say like the mint Tim Tams, we would definitely want to get more of it. But like it didn't leave us feeling like we wanted more of it. It was just passing good. I know that when I got back, I managed to knock out the second extra for chapter 47 and 50. So those are done. And I really think that's it. I don't know. I don't remember doing anything else. Okay, so I woke up this morning at 12 and I got up at 12:30. I made tea and then I worked on pages 1, 2, and 3 of chapter 6. I thought it would take a long time to get through, but it actually didn't take that long. I ended up finishing all 3 line arts at between 3 and 4. I don't remember when specifically, so I ended up doing 3 things. One, I ended up printing out templates for to-do lists that I was just planning on hacking up for my my little clipboard thing. So this way I don't have to keep writing out the to-do list. It takes forever to write it out. This way I write out whatever is different for that day, and then the things I do consistently are already all printed on the paper. So I think I ended up cutting 2 months worth of them, and I'll probably end up using them later. But I ended up also working a little bit on one of the work in progress pictures I didn't get to do because I saw something that reminded me, oh yeah, I was shading in the hair a certain way for this picture, and I thought, well, I actually do need to complete this picture because it needs to go up on my Patreon. I have not thought about this picture for a long time, and I've been meaning to update the Patreon before January. So I was thinking about if I have some time doing one little itty bitty thing on the picture and then completing it later. I don't know if it'll be possible. Let's see. Aside from that, the last thing I did was start chapter 8, and I had the character see the building and get interested in the crates. That was as far as I got. So I'll get back to that later. So I went for my run. Technically it's a walk, and first thing I found was a dime, and then later I found a penny. I've had these uncanny moments of being able to see change underneath cars in the dark. Granted that the penny is actually shiny. It's surprising, because first time I did that, Monica was like, how did you even see it? It's so dark. So yeah, I didn't have very much to brainstorm when I went for my walk. I talked a little bit about wanting to clean up the living room. That was basically it. Because on the craft table, there's a bunch of random stuff that we're not using. So I ended up moving some of those things out of a drawer so I can put those things into the drawer. And I ended up having this other drawer stuffed with random shit. It makes me sad because it's mostly good stuff that we're just not using at the moment. That it's still valuable. So I don't know. I figure we're gonna get to messing with those eventually. I think I really should move the long table in front of the window because I feel like the air coming from the window is probably gonna mess up the recording station I made. It's completely covered in duct tape, and I figured that it's not even the sturdy duct tape. It's the fancy decorative duct tape. So yeah, I'm thinking about just moving it so the duct tape doesn't get affected and it doesn't start peeling and getting weak. Alrighty, so yeah, I did that, and then I ended up cutting those to-do lists I printed out. That's what I found. I had at least 2 months worth of them. And then we ate breakfast and we watched the next episode of Land of the Lustrous and the next episode of Blendus. My comments on Land of the Lustrous, oh my god. We lost Antarctica, and I feel so bad because Antarctica had such a close relationship with the Master, and the Master was really empathetic towards Antarctica. And Phos, on the other hand, it's just keeps getting worse. I feel like the writer did so well with her legs that they thought they could do well with the arms too, and I feel like it didn't work as well for me as the legs did. The legs was actually pretty cool. The arms storyline felt very forced. It didn't feel like something that should have happened. There was no real emotional payoff to the arms story. So basically they found some gold. She tried to put the gold on her arms to see if that would help her out any, but the gold ended up turning on her, and then she had to force the gold to obey her. And I don't know how I feel about this gold stuff. I mean, the gold did help in the sense that whenever she cracked the gold, would try to fill in the cracks. But it didn't do it for her whole. It didn't do it much for her whole body. It only did once in a while. She lost a lot of little pieces. So I don't know. She's probably gonna forget half of what just happened because she lost so many little pieces. All I know is that Antarctica is gone. It's just frustrating. Okay. So yeah, all the characters are coming back in the next episode. I don't know how I feel. I just they better be coming up to some type of climax soon because there's so much with this series. It's just alrighty. As for Blendus, they finally introduced the last member of their team. It's a trap, and I had heard this character was gonna be a trap, so I was just waiting for it to be a trap, and like it was weird when its boy side was coming out. That was interesting. Oh my god. It's one of those things where I was like, I don't know how to put my finger on this, because I had a sticky feeling I was gonna like this character, because the character kind of reminds me of Kanaria from Rosin Maiden, and like I really liked Kanaria, so I feel like this character is very similar. They're a bit like pleasantly arrogant, and I spent the latter half of the episode trying to find some cute clothes for it, and like, I don't know, it's just. It's a cute character. I the one thing I didn't like is the scene where he was trying to give the manager advice on how to woo Micah, because I feel like the manager already did a decent job wooing her. He didn't need pointers on that as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like that entire segment felt excess. Alrighty, so lunch is coming up soon. I don't know what we're going to end up watching. We have all of the weekend anime to cover. So Ballroom, Magus Bride, what else was there? Kino and Netoju, we didn't watch any of those. We're at the point where we don't even want to watch Kino and Netoju, but we're going to do it anyway because there's just nothing else to watch. Is there anything else that happened after we watched anime? I remember taking a quick break, and then I went back on at 9. I worked on page 1, but I didn't get page 1 done before Monica finished pages 2 and 3. So we swapped. I started working on pages 2 and 3. It upsets me when she tells me that she's done, and then there's like all these little holes. Like she keeps missing the gloves and the boots on the characters. It's so annoying. So I'm pretty much done with those pages. I just need to run them through PaintShop Pro X2. Then I can put text on them. Actually, I think I need to put snow on the scene, because like it's supposed to be snowing, and like I didn't bother adding snow, so that's gotta happen. I think Monica's doing the background for page 1, because like I didn't get that far. I only got as far as the main character himself. So when she's done, I have to finish that really quick, and then I can do all 3 pages. I think I should get them done before 2. That means I'll have a little extra time to do something else, and I'm trying to decide what, because like it's so rare when I have free time. It's a miracle when I get free time. So like if I could just find something to pick to do and then complete that. I'm thinking maybe doing the second extra for chapter 46, because like I got one set of text done for that. If I get the Doti side of the picture done, I can do 46 and then hopefully 47. I don't know if I'll have the energy. Part of me feels like I'm probably going to be exhausted. So I don't know. Maybe I can also proofread the next chapter or whatever. I don't know. I have to think about it. Upcoming, Marianne's coming over on Wednesday, and on Friday in the new month, money comes in, and we have to do all these different things. So I think that's virtually it already then. I will see you in the next one.